My name's Joe Nestor. I'm an alcoholic, an addict. I had a pretty normal childhood growing up. Never really got involved with drugs or alcohol till later on in life. I still vividly remember it. I was 19. It was February 2002. I had some friends that offered me cocaine, and I remember instantly, falling in love. It gave me instant gratification, had that rush, and from there it took a hold of me pretty quickly. And it took me out quick. Within, let's say, 6 months, my bank account was non-existent. I was in debt, lost my job, and things progressed pretty quickly, and I eventually got hooked on heroin. And from there, my life just totally went to hell. Within the first 3 months, I was homeless, living on the streets in Wilmington, Delaware, doing things that I never thought that I would do, and spent almost the next decade in and out of jail, running the streets, doing whatever it took to chase that high. I was completely broken, completely hopeless. Had all my teeth knocked out, 135 pounds soaking wet, and I eventually had that mindset that, I'm gonna die in these streets. And the sad part about it was I was completely okay. I had accepted my fate, that I was either gonna die face down in the gutter of an overdose, or I was gonna die, in a 6x8 jail cell, doing life in prison. And by the grace of God, 2012, I got a call from an old friend out of the blue saying that, if you honestly feel like you can't do it up there and you can't get away, there's not a way out. He was basically saying that there is a way out, and if I was willing to do it and go to any lengths, that he would do whatever he had to do to get me down to South Florida. Mind you, it's the middle of December. I'm running the streets of North Philadelphia or Wilmington, Delaware. It's freezing cold out. I don't have a place to sleep. So the thought of South Florida kind of seemed okay. So I remember it was a brief moment of clarity. Without even thinking, I answered him yes. Within 3 days, I was on a 26-hour train ride to get down to South Florida with just the clothes on my back. I was scared. I didn't know anybody, didn't know what I was doing. I went to a detox facility and I spent the next 5 or 6 days detoxing from all the substances in my body. Got released on Christmas Day. My friend had me scholarshiped into a treatment center where I spent the next 45 days going to classes and trying to get an understanding of how my mind and body works. I got released after 45 days and came to Healing Properties. I didn't really know much about anything at this point, except that I had a problem with addiction and I could not control, my actions while under the influence, And I get into Healing Properties, and I just see these group of guys. Everybody seems like they're having fun. It's a real sense of camaraderie and brotherhood. And I hadn't felt anything like that in almost 10 years. You know, running the streets, I was so broken, I was so hopeless, I was a complete mess. And I see these group of people that are just like me, that have been through what I've been through, and they seem genuinely happy. So I'm asking questions, and they got me involved with Alcoholics Anonymous and the steps. And even though I didn't really truly believe that kind of stuff at first, you know, I didn't believe that there was a power greater than myself that could restore me to sanity. I thought that I was too far gone. And, you know, but I continued to do what they did. I believed that they believed. And by going through the steps and, you know, going to meetings with these guys and developing that sense of camaraderie that they had, I slowly started to see a change in my life, in my thinking. And as time progressed, you know, I spent close to 17 months at Healing Properties. And by the time I had graduated and moved out from there, I had a solid foundation, and I had a better understanding of how addiction works, and I had the tools, you know, to combat those urges and those cravings. And as time went on and as life progressed in sobriety, I no longer started to think about drugs or alcohol. You know, I got the good job. I got a beautiful fiance now who has an adorable 5-year-old child. And I'm raising this child, you know, to the best of my abilities. And life is just amazing now. And I would have never been able to do that if the guys from Healing Properties didn't welcome me with open arms and really help build that foundation that I still stand on today.